Hello everyone and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. I'm recording this on the night of the game, but it's too late for me to put it out, so you'll be watching it in the morning. Don't worry, you're not going to be seeing a rant. I haven't got the energy. I just haven't. Oh, don't you start, Henry. The dog's going to start barking. It's been quiet for ages. I've recorded this video once, and I never do 2 takes, but the last one was so depressing. I even depressed myself. So I am re-recording it to try and sort of deliver it a little bit better than that. So first of all, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, drop a like on the video because it does really help us. And also, I'm going to give our sponsor, our channel sponsor, the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company, a shout. Great place, really good. West Ham people that run it, they're fantastic. If you like your tea and your coffee, who don't, head over to them. You'll see their link in the description to their website. And if you use our discount code Claret15, you get 15% off. Look, that was poor. It was poor. It was so poor. Even me. Why is my Claret and Booze sign upside down? I can't even be bothered to put it right. It's pissed. Look at it. It was so poor. It was. You know, the selection was rubbish. You know, now I could understand it if there were no question marks over the first 2 team selections in the Premier League games. You go, all right, fair enough. It's a Carabao Cup. You're going to make mass changes. You can't really complain. But to play with that midfield, you know, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse and Soucek, which was the midfield that was played last year, that was so ineffective and so poor. To play with that midfield was just baffling. It was, you know, we're hearing that James Ward-Prowse is almost out the door. What was to be gained in playing him? What was to be gained in that? I really don't know. Not that he did anything particularly wrong. I think it's all to do with the style. And you know something? I've been fighting back on the idea that Thomas Soucek is going to be a mainstay in this team. But I'm starting to think that people are right. Maybe Gonzo had it right. Maybe we are going to be that long ball team. We're going to be a defensively possession-based team that basically hold on to the ball aimlessly, knocking the ball about in our own third, working it forwards, backwards. When we do get pressed by the opposition, we work it all the way back to our defensive areas, to one of the players that we've got that are really good at long balls, you know, either a Kilman, a Dinos, a Tadebo, or the goalkeeper, because that is what it is. It's kind of sideways, forwards, back, sideways, forwards, back. We get pressed, and then we work it back to someone who's going to hoof it up the field. But it's so flawed because that means that your defence is back, you're deep. And I saw Fulkrug today win the first header from one of those long balls. God knows how many we've played. We played so many long balls in the first 3 games, and I actually saw him go up and win one of them, and he nodded it down to Bowen. Nothing came of it, but that's what happened. Now, look, we're going to be very defensively strong because we've got great defenders now, so teams are going to struggle to break us down, and we're going to score because we've got good players. But the style of football, I've got real concerns about. I just have. You know, I know you've got to give him time. You have, and we will give him time. He's going to have time. But his in-game management is something that John picked up on today. So myself, John and Sam, we were at the game today. And John picked up on the fact that, obviously, we know that Cresswell was due to be starting the game, which meant Wan-Bissaka was going to be playing at right back. But Cresswell got injured in the warm-up. And then he made a really bizarre decision to bring Soufal in at right back and play Aaron Wan-Bissaka at left back. Now, Wan-Bissaka had a good game. But the issue that you've got is, when you're on the ball, Wan-Bissaka's always looking to get on his strongest foot, which pulls him inside. And that meant that all of his passes were going inside. Somerville had nothing, you know. Somerville was definitely our trickiest customer on the pitch today, but he had no service. He wasn't getting the ball. He was having to sort of come deep and go everywhere, apart from on that left wing position, to actually pick the ball up. He was getting nothing, which is probably why he had such a shit game, because he did. He didn't have a good game. It nullified him. So that decision did make us really lopsided. It was really weird. And what was weirder still was that Lopetegui didn't spot that at any point and didn't correct it. We had Emerson on the bench, who later came on, but he came on at left wing. And we left Soufal at right back and Wan-Bissaka at left back. Really fucking weird. Like, weird decisions in the first game. To play in the last game against Crystal Palace, to start with Soufal and leave Wan-Bissaka on the bench, and then do what you should have done at the start of the game and bring Wan-Bissaka on, which ultimately basically won us that game, you know, Loppy gets all the plaudits. Well done. Loppy's made changes that's won us the game. Is that what we're going to be doing now, is it? Not starting with our strongest team, get him through, you know, just as well as we can, and then putting the players on that we need to put on for the last half an hour. And what Loppy's a genius. Is that what it? Because I know managers like that at fucking my level where I go now. They keep players on the bench because they want it to look like they've masterminded, they've impacted the game by making a change. When as in actual fact, the players that you bring on should have been fucking starting anyway. All you've done is, in a sense, you've unfucked your fuck up that you started at the start of the game. So I don't know. I might be getting ahead of myself, but I didn't enjoy that football at all. It's the first game that I've been to this year. I was supposed to be going to Crystal Palace, but I didn't get to the game. I've been really looking forward to getting over there. I've hated the Moyes era because it's been so dull. It's been so boring. Whenever I've been in that stadium, it's just sucked the life out of me. The same happened today. There was no atmosphere in there. None. No atmosphere. It was dead because the football is dead. It's slow. It's pedestrian. It's killing the likes of Bowen. I know he scored again today. Or it could have been, apparently it should have been ruled out. I've not seen it back. Apparently it was a handball. I don't know. I don't care anyway. You know, goal's a goal for us. Got us through to the next round against Liverpool. But I saw it plenty of times in the first half where Bowen, you know, like when the ball's back and it's worked its way back to Fabianski, and I'm looking up and I can see Bowen. He's on the shoulder. He's ready to go, and we're going sideways, backwards, that way, sideways. And in the end, you look over at Bowen and his fucking head drops and he just sort of trudges back like that. Just take him forever to get up the fucking pitch. It's you know, in a sense, it's that bad because I hated Moyes ball with an absolute passion. But in an attacking sense, I would say it's probably less exciting than what we was watching for the last few years because at least with the way that Moyes played, I'm not saying for a minute I ever want to go back to anything like Moyes ball. That's just how bad I'm seeing what I'm seeing at the moment. At least there were those moments where you had those moments in games where it was like, bang, go. And you had those attacking moments in games where you got off your seat because we kind of attacked en masse. Players like Kudus and Bowen flourished. But this real slow, technical, build-up, patient game is so fucking weird. Why can't we just be forward-thinking? Why can't we just... The whole idea of playing football is to score a fucking goal. It's to get the ball up the other end of the pitch and score a goal and entertain and have some skill, especially when you've got flair players. So I don't understand it. I've never actually paid attention to football like this before, but it is quite dull. It's not to say it's going to stay that way, but when you look at the fact that he's picking Souček in every game and he's playing him in the 10, it feels like it's by design. Because if you were to play a Paqueta in the 10, Paqueta's going to pick that ball up. Even if he's got his back to goal, he'll spin, he'll turn, he'll look forward, he'll drive, he'll play a forward pass. If you play Kudus there, the same thing. If you play someone like a Guilherme there, forward players. So you've got a player in a 10 that is a 10 that's going to progress us and transition us from midfield to attack. When you play Thomas Souček in the 10, you've got a player who receives the ball. He's always got his back to goal because he's always just looking at the ball. He's never on the turn. So whenever Thomas Souček will receive the ball, he's got his back to goal. The man never turns, which means that ball is going straight back where it fucking come from. So this is definitely by design. I don't think Lopetegui's got any interest. I mean, the Spanish game is slower, isn't it? It's more patient. Although the other guy, the way that Bournemouth were playing it was far more fucking expensive. So I really don't know. I'll get my my concerns put to rest. I hope that you guys can pick me up for a change in the chat. You know, like some of you guys, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm seeing this wrong. Tell me that it's going to be all right. You know, in 10 games time, it's all going to click. The thing that's worrying me is the fact that Souček is being played in that 10 because Loppy's no mug. He's obviously doing exactly what Lopetegui wants him to do. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be in that team. He'd be hooking him. So the effects that Thomas Souček is having on that team that is crushing my soul is exactly what Lopetegui wants. Exactly what he wants. And it's completely mind fucking me. It's completely mind fucking me. I really I can't work it out. I can't work it out. It's demoralising actually. And we're going to win games, like I've already said. I think we're going to be fine. We of course we're going to be fine. We're just not going to be getting that kind of that type of exciting football that I thought that we was going to get. You know, a lot of people coming into this when we got Lopetegui, a lot of people were negative, going he's a boring manager. He's pragmatic. He's this. He's that. And I'm like, no. He's not. We're going to be playing. Look at the footballers we've got. We're going to be playing good football. But the trouble is, if a manager is that way, it doesn't matter what footballers you've got. It doesn't matter. I mean, look at us for fuck's sake. We've got Paqueta, we've got Kudus, we've got Bowen, you've got Somerville, you've got all these players. How can we be playing like that, really? It's just so strange, so odd. So I do feel a little bit disillusioned with it all. I was sat over in that stadium thinking, why the fuck am I here? Which quite often happens to me. You know, that was a game that I would much rather have just sat at home and watched that on telly. I really would have. I had pie and mash before the game. That was lovely. That made the journey worthwhile. 2-2, bit of chili vinegar. That was nice. Couple of beers as well. Had a good chat with a few people. Met a chap called Brendan. Hello, Brendan, who was over there with his grandson, who plays for the West Ham Academy. He's a fan of the channel. He's a lovely guy. Had a lovely chat with him. Met a few other people as well. Met Dom from West Ham Fan TV. Met Bez. Met quite a few other people. It was good. It was nice socialising. But the football was just dull. It was just turgid. Yeah, that's all I can say, really. I just hope I'm wrong. I hope that, you know... Well, no, I don't hope I'm wrong. I hope that I've been right all season. I hope that how I've been reading the situation is that the likes of Souček will come out. We will have a proper number 10. There is a number 10 that is in the team to create as opposed to disrupt. Because that's what he's doing. That's what Souček does. Souček disrupts the transition between midfield and attack. He kills it dead. You know, he does, just by the very nature of him being there, because he's got his back to goal. He doesn't turn. The ball comes to Souček. It's coming right back at you, back that way. Completely and utterly kills Bowen, Kudus and players like that, and the striker. There's no fluidity there. There can't be. So the fact he just keeps on being put there is obviously by design, and that's because it's hold on to the ball for as long as possible, 8 minutes up, 8 minutes of the game up, and then when we get put under pressure, you work it back, and then when we do hoof it long, you've got the big tall lump standing there with Fulkrug as well. Fulkrug's another one. I don't get the player. I really don't. I don't know whether I've already spoken about him in this one. I don't get him. I think he's 31, 28 million. Just not great. Not great. He's not as big as a lot of the defenders he's going to come up against. He hasn't got that explosive power that Antonio's got to be able to ragdoll defenders. He hasn't got the pace to beat a Premier League centre-back, I can tell you that much. I don't really know what he is, but he didn't get any service today. He is basically a target man. So while we played a target man without part of our game plan being get service into him, I don't get that at all, you know, because it's probably never really going to happen anyway when you think about it, because if you're playing... because Cresswell was never really going to get up the pitch because they would be exposed at the back. So it was always going to be Somerville and Bowen, but they're inverted. So they're not there to put crosses in. So I don't get it. I don't really get the Fulkrug signing. I don't. I'll be amazed. I mean, I think if he played every Premier League game, I'd be amazed if he made 10 goals from what I'm seeing of him. I hope to be proved wrong. I've been wrong about a few other players. Well, I've been wrong about Kilman. I didn't say he was shit, but I said he weren't worth 40 million. I was definitely wrong on that front. He's class. Tadebo came in today as well. He didn't have a good game, but he was blowing out of his arse. After about 24 minutes, 25 minutes, Sam that was there, he said he saw him standing there with his hands on his hips. He was blowing. So I'm not taking anything from that. I think he's going to be fine. It just looks a little bit relaxed for a centre-back, a little bit laid back. You know, you like your centre-backs to be a little bit more alert. But yeah, he's a class player. I'm sure he's going to be okay. But he got the yellow card, was hooked off for Dinos because obviously don't want to risk getting a ban. Somerville was poor. He had a chance to score and blazed it over the bar. I have got a concern about Somerville. I'm going to be honest. Now I've watched him a few times. and it is his size. I mean, he's small, like really small. I think if Somerville was to be one of our academy players, like a George Urphy, and he'd come on the pitch, we'd be saying he ain't physically ready for the Premier League yet. He needs to go out to League One and the Championship or something like that. That's what I think that we'd be saying about him. I think he's going to be really good. He's going to be brilliant. He's going to have moments. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I know he got Championship Player of the Year last year. I don't know. I'm just looking at him and I'm thinking, man, you're diminutive. It reminds me of, do you remember when you was like 15, 16 and your mate brings his younger brother out who's about 12 and he's got his older brother's top on? It's too big for him. Just reminds me of him a little bit. He's really small, really small. Gets brushed off the ball. He did today anyway. Got brushed off the ball quite easily. So yeah, I don't know, but it's too soon to call anything like that. You know, I don't want to be unfair on the lad, and he didn't have any supply today. He weren't being given the ball at all. So, but yeah, I was looking at him thinking, man, you are small, really, really small. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to the game on the weekend as well, so I'm going to the City game. I'm going to have to put in a fucking far better performance than that. I'll tell you what, if he doesn't toughen our midfield up, if he plays Souček against Man City, I do think it's going to be a cricket score because it's going to happen. You know, could have happened against Palace. Palace could have scored 2-3 goals in the first half. Bournemouth were just not sharp in the first half. They had a couple of chances. Fabianski made some great saves. But yeah, Bournemouth weren't great by any means today. But I just think if we play with a weak midfield, someone like Man City, they're just going to absolutely tear through us. They're going to tear us a new one. But I don't know. You know, I'm fed up. I'm fed up guessing. The only thing that I'm almost certain of now, if I'm being honest, the way I'm feeling now is that Thomas Souček is the first name on the team sheet. We are building our team around a man that disrupts the attack. Definitively, no one can argue that. He does. He kills the transition between midfield and attack. The only way we can get that ball forward is by lumping the fucking thing up. Or having a fullback carrying the ball the whole length of the pitch. Or a centre-back carrying the ball the whole length of the pitch, like we've seen a few times, where they just go, fuck this. They pick the ball up and they run it forward. You know, we've seen Dinos do it. We've seen Kilman do it. You know, we can't progress it through with passing. Someone's got to physically carry it up the pitch, or it's got to be fucking arrowed by carrier pigeon to one of the tall cunts. But look, anyway, that's it from me. I'm going to go to bed. All right. Let me know what your thoughts are anyway. And yeah, see if you can pick me up. I feel a little bit deflated. See if you can pick me up in the chat. Tell me I ain't got anything to worry about, Nick. It's all going to be good. In 5 games, 6 games, you're going to be loving it. Speak to you all soon. Come on, you ones.